Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight, season 13, episode 14. In this episode, the couples go on a couples retreat where they all meet up and they share the same space, I think, because it's just 2 weeks before decision day. So I'll review my couples as I normally do. With Rachel and Jose, they seem to be doing great this week. There was no fights, there was no arguments. They drove down together. They seemed very happy. They were lovey-dovey as usual. They wanted everybody to see that they were, everybody could tell that they're doing very well. And for me, my opinion is still the same. Rachel and Jose, nothing, there's no trajectory whereby you can say they've grown or they've moved on from what initially from where they were when they started. So I don't know, we'll just see what happens. Yeah, they did participate in games. They sort of Jose was able to help with the cooking on the first night. So I personally don't see anything there about Rachel and Jose that I could say shows that they'll make a very good couple after the experiment, in my opinion. I think if they do stay together after the experiment, it's just for a couple of months or years and then they will separate, just like Virginia and Eric, because I can't really see what is something tangible that I could say, this is the reason why they stayed married. They are in love, they are working, they've managed to progress from here to there. I can't see anything. So I don't know. They might prove me wrong. From there, we saw Mela and Gil. Mela and Gil are doing amazing, and it's surprising, but I don't think a lot of people expected them to be where they are. Mela has really grown fond of Gil's dog. You can see that they're really working. She's trying to make her marriage work. They drove down together, and because Gil didn't have a dog sitter, they had to take his dog. Um, you could see that Merla did tell Gil, and I think she was right to tell him that why are we all in the same space? Why didn't they give us individual spaces? And I think it's something that they should have done, because now I think every time they've had a couples retreat, they've tried to put them in the same place. I think because they know it creates drama and commotion and stuff. But it's really sad though, because then it stops those that are trying to build and bond to work on time away from everybody else to work on their marriage. Anyway, so we did see them, they went horse riding. Mela said, you, they played games, and she still wanted to go to her room, and they were all making fun of her because during the game they asked who's most likely to want to leave, and everybody said Merla. And she said, even at this moment, Bao shouted, at this moment she's trying to leave. So for me, I think I've noticed that Merla initially she said she wasn't kissing Gil because she wasn't comfortable, and now it seems she's very comfortable around Gil, because wherever she goes, she wants to be beside Gil. If they're in a group setting, she's always next to Gil. Whatever they're doing, they're always together. And for me, I've seen a lot of progress from where they started on day one, where she didn't want him to kiss her, where she was saying she didn't like dogs, and to now, she looks after his dog when he's at work. She's she's always with him. She's happy to make out with him. She's happy to do things with him, and she's always wants him at her side, as in my opinion, sort of like her comfort zone, somewhere where she knows she's safe. So I see them working, and I really liked how they, stayed out of most of the drama and kept to themselves, and um, still they were able to give their opinions, which Gil is good at giving when they were in a group setting. So for me, I think they're doing amazing. And then I think there was drama between three couples, and some of it was just continued. All of it was continued drama anyway. Um, Johnny and Bao. Johnny and Bao drove down together. There's still a lot of commotion because Johnny said he wants to start from the beginning, and I think Pastor Carl was right when he said, "Is there somebody else? Is there somebody else?" And Johnny just said, "No, there's nobody else." And for me, I think that today I was able to get a hint of who that somebody else might be. They drove down together. They got there. Bao did the cooking. Johnny was just sitting there, and I think Johnny is so set on sort of discrediting Bao that he's looking for any slight mistake so that he can point at it and say, "Oh, this is the reason why, and this is the reason why." Anyway, he, they gave Brett a present, and he was not in front giving her the present, said nice words to her. They went on a group, him and Bao and Brett and Ryan went on a group date, and Brett wasn't comfortable around guns, which she said before. So he sat down with Brett and he was busy. He was so polite to Brett and yet so horrible to his wife that for me, I sort of get the feeling that he fancies Brett and he wishes, because there was a time he said, I wish I'd been married to anybody else outside of Bao, matched to anybody else. And I think he might mean he wishes he had been matched with Brett because of how he is around her. I might be wrong, but that's just my opinion. Um, from there, even when they were at the game, they did have a game night. So for all the couples, he sat next to Brett. I don't know whether they are the two that had been asked to sort of chair the group and be, um, in charge of the game. And for me, it's just I don't know. I don't know. I really can't pinpoint what is wrong between him and Bao, apart from he says she lies. And Married at First Sight producers are good at showing anything to support whatever somebody says, and they haven't shown us proof of where Bao has lied. So I don't know what he means by she lies. Anyway, that's them. Initially, when they arrived at the barn house, Johnny and Ryan decided, they would sleep together, which is sad and awkward in the sense that I think Johnny has found a kindred spirit in Ryan, and so he wants to justify his silly behavior by linking himself to Ryan and sort of them both just sort of giving each other a pat on the back and saying, oh, you're amazing and this, when they know that what they're doing is wrong and they're being horrible to these ladies. Ryan also came with Brad. They drove down together. It was awkward in the car. They got there. And then, he was saying he wanted to spend the night with Brett, and Brett was like, how can we spend the night when all this time, when we're at home, we sleep in separate rooms? And because she said no to that, Ryan then got upset and said, oh, she refused. What set me off is she refused to be in the same room. And I liked how Zach in the group setting was able to say to him, why are you upset that she's not sleeping in the same room with you when you don't sleep in the same room? When this is not the first time you haven't slept in the same room. So when you're in your house, you sleep in separate rooms, and suddenly you want to make a big deal about it. And I think for me, it's because he wanted to keep up appearances and not let everybody see how badly he's been treating Brett and be held accountable for that. And so I really don't know what Ryan's ulterior motive is, apart from the fact that he's discrediting someone who I think would have been an amazing partner for him. Um, Even when they went on their date, he knows she's already told him that there are things that you like that I don't like, and things that I like that you don't like, and there are certain things that I don't believe in. And it seems Brett doesn't like guns. And if someone says they don't like guns and they do, there's certain things you can persuade someone to do, and there's certain things you have to be able to respect somebody's own opinion and just leave it at that. So Ryan was upset that Brett didn't participate in the shooting, but he was happy that Bao had done it, and so at least that was something else. On the first date, he spent the night in the same room with Johnny, and it's just those two are going to regret their decision to treat these women horribly. But then, what do you do? I don't know. And then from there we go to Michaela and Zach. Michaela and Zach, in my opinion, Michaela and Zach should not have been brought together until their issues were resolved. I know as a couple they were trying to work on their marriage, but I think the first time they sat down with Pastor Carl and they would discuss their abandonment issues, I think they should have had more sort of counseling before they brought them together, and maybe they might have worked, because it seems Zach has not moved away from his initial opinion that was formed when Michaela moved out, and Michaela somehow expects Zach to move on and be everything is okay and for them to be fine. So I think there were issues with communication, and I think I'll do a review of their fight later. But it's sad, but I think this is the end of Zach and Michaela. I know they were saying that they were going to get divorced and then come back together. I don't see that working, because I think I sort of grasped what Zach was trying to say, but I don't think he was able to vocalize it clearly for her to understand what he was trying to say. And so I think all this is a misunderstanding. I know they have a meeting with Dr. Pepper, but I don't know how much she can actually do to help them, though. I don't know how much she can do to help them because I think this fight just took things overboard. But anyway, I'll do a review on that at some point, or on the fight. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.